Hi, welcome to the video. In this video, I will be taking you through a very simple process in which I will show you how can you take a 2-hour YouTube video, how can you convert it into a visual mind map and use it for ideation, brainstorming, or just consuming additional information. I am right now on a tool called Notebook LM by Google. The model that this tool uses is Gemini, which is a model from Google itself. The cool thing about this tool is that you can upload your own sources. It could be an online website, it could be a PDF, it could be a text file, it could be a Word document, it could be a YouTube video as well. Because this is the tool by Google, the integration with YouTube is very serious. The video that I'll be taking for this example is something I just finished listening to, which is WTF, which is a podcast by Nikhil Kamath. This episode is on consumer electronics with Carl Pai, who was one of the founders of us and currently runs the thing. Rahul Sharma, who is a Micromat, and Amit Khatri, who runs a brand called Noise, which makes headphones. Very interesting video, was 2 hours 40 minutes, and I'm going to click on share, and I'm going to copy the link of the video. That is the first thing. And I'll copy the video link and I'll put it in Notebook LM. I'm going to copy the link and I'm going to come back to Notebook LM. And in Notebook LM, you don't have chats. The term here is a notebook. So I'll create a new notebook and I can upload my own source. Now in sources, you can see there are a bunch of different information, that different file types that you can upload: PDF, text, Markdown, audio. You can link your Google Drive, Google Docs, Google Slide. You could put a link to a website, but if it's a paid website or some content that is behind a paywall that can access that, you could put a YouTube video link and a copy text. I have the paid version, so or like the plus version, so I can upload up to 300 sources in each notebook. There's also a limit on the number of notebooks that you can have, but that's also quite, the number is quite big, so not very important. And on the free version, you can upload up to 50 sources in each notebook. I have a YouTube video, so I'm going to click on the video, come back, paste the YouTube video link, and click on insert. Once I do that, what the tool will do is it immediately creates a quick summary for me right at the top here, which I'll do in a second. Once the summary is generated, I can now do a bunch of things with this video. So, India's consumer electronics landscape and opportunity. Three founders in the consumer electronics industry discuss their backgrounds in the current landscape. Kalpai shares his early inspiration from Apple products, journey co-founding OnePlus. Rahul Sharma recounts starting Micromax, and Amit Khatri explains how his early entrepreneurial ventures led to founding or co-founding Noise. Very cool, a quick summary. So if you don't have time to watch the entire video, how do you condense? Or to be very honest, this video had a lot of insights. Someone who, let's say, is planning to do something in consumer electronics or already works in the industry as an employee at some company or as an entrepreneur. A lot of cool insights in this 2 hour 40 minutes podcast. The very first thing that I can do here is, without even going to the chat and asking some questions, I can click on the mind map feature, right, which is very cool. And what this will do is, as you can see here, it is generating a mind map for me, right? Once it generates the mind map, what I will is a clear mind map with all the key ideas from the podcast, right? So all the key themes, maybe at a person level, maybe at a theme level, that I can decide. And once the mind map is generated, I would like to show that to you. So it's generated. I can click on the mind map button, and then this is the trends that they have decided or themes that they have decided to give me. Right? You can see it is based on one source. So the source is my YouTube video. Let's say I go to entrepreneurship and starting a business. So then it talks about Amit Khatri. It talks about Rahul Sharma. Then if I go to, let's say, innovation and differentiation, I can see a bunch of different stuff. Right now, if I click one of these themes, let's say finding gaps in the market through observation, driver made villages. So Rahul Sharma said a very interesting point that initial days of Microsoft, that when they were making phones, he decided to make a phone with two SIM cards. The reason was that he saw his cook, I think, with two separate feature phones, and he asked him why did he have two separate feature phones at that time. I think this was 2010. Um, Yeah, 2010, early 2010 or 2000, between 2010 to 2015. So the cook responded that, one SIM card I have free incoming, the other SIM card I have some other offer. So I'm using multiple SIM cards and I don't have a single phone that I can put those. So Rahul Sharma then decided that, this is something that we can innovate. So he talked about finding or looking at inspiration in and around you. So when I click on a particular theme, then that theme gets converted into a prompt. So discuss what these sources say about finding gaps. Right. So then it will tell me a response from the podcast through this prompt. Right. I can go ahead and download the mind map at whatever level I can currently see it at, and it downloads as a PNG. I'll show that to you as well. Yeah, you can see it's a PNG. I can go to downloads and I can save this, and I can do this as well. And the quality, I'm not sure it will be, yeah. So whatever level you have zoomed in at, it shows you that level itself, and the quality is fairly good. I mean, I don't see any blurriness or anything with the quality of the text and the entire visual. This is great, but this is not interactive. It can only be interactive on Notebook LM, right? Then, because I had clicked on a particular question, then it tells me the response. Now, what I want to show you is something different. I don't want to focus on the mind map feature. There is an audio overview feature as well, which is basically a AI generated audio podcast between two individuals discussing the entire podcast. I'll click on generate just to show that to you as well, but that's not the main point of the video. I will now just click on refresh because I don't want to save this chat, and I'm going to say that convert the key themes from this podcast into a mind map. Focus on the three founders and what ideas they focus or they talk about. Right? So I can see that I want to convert the key themes from this podcast into a mind map. Focus on three founders and what ideas they talked about. It's going to take a minute, so 45, 60 seconds for it to generate the response. And once it generates the response, we can have a look at that as well. Additionally, you get a few thought starters right here. So some questions that you can directly click on, and that those become the prompt to Notebook LM. Let's wait for this to load. It's taking slightly longer than expected, but that's okay. Let me copy that, and when we refresh this, let me try something different. Do a Markmap syntax. Try that. So we have to wait for this to load because that is when I'll be showing you the complete exercise. I can put the video on ChatGPT as well, but with ChatGPT, I'm not sure it will be able to render the video for me, render the transcript from the video for me. So I'm going to just put the link. Can you tell me key themes? So I'm not sure. Yes, yeah, because it has a search functionality, we cannot access the video immediately. And if I turn on search and try it, can it do it for me? Let's see. Yeah, when I turn on the search feature, it can do it for me. So I'm not sure if we'll be able to transcribe the entire video, but yeah. Or it just gives me a quick intro, maybe from the title and all. This is still not completed loading. It's okay. Not that. 1 second. ChatGPT. Yeah, so it tells me key themes. Perfect. So I'll wait for this to load. Right. Okay, so it tells me everything from the podcast, and Notebook LM is taking slightly longer, but that's okay. So we have the output of Notebook LM as well. And what I want to do now is I want to copy this output. So I specifically asked for a Markmap syntax, right? And I said that I want to look at the three founders and what they spoke about. So you could do anything else as well, but I'm going to copy this. So that's quite a big note. I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to now come to a website called markmap.js.org, and I am going to click on the try it out button, and I'm only going to paste the markmap text. So anything at the top, the old information, and this as well. Okay, just copy this. So again, you see this rendering. Okay, it is not rendered correctly. Maybe the syntax is not correct because I don't think Notebook LM can give me a very good syntax. So I showed you that on GPT also, if you have the search feature enabled, you can summarize the video. I'm just going to say that convert this into a Markmap syntax. Maybe GPT will be able to do a better job at it. Because obviously Notebook LM is not for coding. I don't need search, but that's okay. Hopefully it should give me the Markmap syntax. Yeah, perfect. So it's giving me the Markmap syntax. These are just from my earlier prompt. And once this entire thing is generated, I just have to copy this and put it on the website, which is mark.js.org. That's it. Okay. I should not maybe go to Notebook LM, but yeah, I didn't realize that I could do the same thing on ChatGPT as well. So rather than going on Notebook LM, you could ask ChatGPT to do the same thing as well. Again, multiple tools will do the same thing. So you could. I just wait for the output to get generated, and all you have to do is then just come to Markmap Syntax website and just paste the output here. That's it. Just paste the output, and you should see a complete HTML here. Not HTML, sorry, a complete mind map there. So I'm going to close Notebook LM because I'm not sure if that syntax was absolutely correct. But let's see. Let's wait for this to complete generating. And I'm using 4.0, which is okay for these kind of tasks, which is summarization. Almost done. In fact, I can copy this much as well. And that also view. Just want to demonstrate the example. And I click and it generates a mark map for me. It does not even do it. I'm not sure why am I not able to get a mark map. Is there a syntax error? Let me just double check that. So when you go to the new chat, let me just copy whatever I have so far. And maybe just paste it again, maybe. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I don't know if there was an issue earlier, but it was not able to generate it. But I've copied not the entire thing, whatever it was able to generate for me. And it has generated the entire code as well. So I'll copy this once and I'll paste this code once. Maybe it was still generating, hence it will not complete all aspects of the syntax. And now you get a cool mind map here. Okay. And I know it's very detailed, right? But the advantage here is that you could download this as a static SVG, but that's not the cool part. You download this as an interactive HTML. So I click on this button and I get a cool markmap file. And now I can open this in my browser. I can share this directly with someone else as well. I can zoom in, I can zoom out, and I can minimize the nodes. So by default, all the nodes are obviously expanded, but this is a very cool way of summarizing information, getting the entire content of the podcast. Maybe you could have other questions, right? But this is a very cool way of summarizing because just a transcript of the video will never be sufficient. What I had asked for is that at each individual level, so let's say for Kalpai, for Rahul Sharma, and for Amit Khatri, what have they talked about, right? I want to look at those themes. Then I expand it, okay, what has Kalpai talked about? So Kalpai shared all these points. He talked about his background in early tech passion, thoughts on future tech, so on and so forth. What has Rahul Sharma shared? He talked about Micromax, their challenges from pivoting to manufacturing, early ventures, industry insights, and what are his other ventures, etc. I'm going to minimize the notes for now. I'm going to expand on Amit Khatri and okay, what has Amit Khatri talked about? Background and career shift, starting Noise, the brand that he co-founded, what are the opportunity gaps in the market, right? Very cool and very effective way. And this is a HTML file, so you could share this with others over WhatsApp, over email, and they can access this directly, right? So that's what I wanted to show you. Took a slightly longer because Notebook LM was my first choice, but I should have done this directly on ChatGPT, right? So you can use it for consuming information, brainstorming, putting your ideas into a visual format, and the node-based feature allows you to condense a lot of information in a single view. Hope you liked the video. Thank you. Stay tuned for more content.